I successfully transitioned from a stagnant career into a data analyst using free resources available to me. Many people want a career in tech, but not everyone can afford to pay the hefty university fees or expensive boot camps. Some also don't have the time to go to university either. If this sounds like you, then fear not, because you can certainly transition into tech with $0 or £0 and at your own pace. Here's how. The mistake a lot of people make when they want to transition into tech is they immediately start learning how to code without really knowing what career path they want to go into. Making this mistake can really delay your journey, and I know this because I made the same exact mistake, and this really delayed my journey by at least 6 months. We haven't got a lot of time to waste, so it's important that before we start learning how to code, we do a bit of research and find out what career path we want to take. And to help you with this, here's a long list of possible tech career paths that you can take and the potential salaries as well to choose from. And you can pause the video and take a screenshot if you want, and I'll also try and link it in the description. Okay, so now that we know the career path that we want to go down, we need to choose a programming language. And it makes sense to choose a programming language that is high in demand. Do a quick Google search to find out what languages you need to study for the job that you want. For example, if you want a career in data science or data analytics like myself, you can choose to study SQL, Python or R. Alright, now we know what career path we want to take, what the average salary is, and the programming language that we need to study. So now we need to find somewhere to learn for free. Okay, here are a few places you can find free resources. So firstly, we have Free Code Camp. Free Code Camp is a non-profit organization with a community of millions of people all around the world who are learning how to code together. They offer an interactive online learning platform with courses to help you to learn how to code for free. You can build projects for your portfolio, earn certifications, and many more. They also have an app which allows you to learn on the go, and in addition to that, they also have a YouTube channel with a huge community of over 9 million subscribers last time I checked. And apart from taking free courses on their online platform, the YouTube channel also offers you tons of tutorials and courses to help you to learn how to code as well. And if that's not enough for you as well, they also have a local meetup group where you can meet like-minded people who are also learning how to code. You can meet up regularly to connect and network with people, and I took full advantage of these resources, and I personally found it super helpful, especially at the start of my journey. Another great platform is W3 Schools. This platform offers a free online platform for learning how to code with a wide variety of languages. What I love about this the most is that they have a demo editor where you can practice writing some code. At the time of recording this video, they don't currently have an app, but their website is very mobile friendly, so you can still access it and use it on the go on your phone. Alright, next. So for me, one of the best platforms to learn how to code for free is good old YouTube. You can literally learn anything on YouTube. There are tons of tutorials, courses, projects that you can follow along to, videos to help you to troubleshoot your code when it's not working properly.
In this course, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to get started programming in Python.
And what I really love about YouTube was just listening to the story of other people just like myself, self-taught their way into landing a career in tech. This really helped me a lot during the difficult periods where it felt like it was impossible for someone like myself, growing up in South London, to actually land a job in tech. Just listening to the stories of others who also had no coding experience, people that worked in KFC, in warehouses, stacking shelves in supermarkets, from being a pastor. I watched countless videos of people's success stories, which helped me a lot to continue to believe, especially when my faith was waning quite a bit. Next, we have Harvard University. Yes, you heard it right. The Harvard University also offers free computer science courses called the CS50, which you can enroll on their website. Many people who have taken this course have spoken highly of it, especially of the course instructor, David Millen. You can really feel the passion and joy and effort he puts into each lecture. Taking this course is completely free, but if you want the certification, unfortunately, you're going to have to pay for that one. It costs about $219. However, many people don't know this, but when they grade your work and you score at least 70% on each of the courses, projects, and quizzes, you'll be eligible for a free certificate. Now, if you live in the UK, then you're in luck, because there's a wonderful opportunity for you to enroll on a bootcamp for free. When you're learning how to code by yourself, sometimes it's difficult for you to find a structure, and without a structure, it can lead you to being lost and ultimately giving up. This government bootcamp is a scheme called Skills for Life, which helps you to develop your skills to help you to grow in your current career or to switch careers. They also boast that they can guarantee you a job interview on the completion of your bootcamp, but I'll be honest, that bit is not quite true. I know this because I took the bootcamp and that wasn't the case for me. What they did offer though was a lot of help with CV writing, and also they got lots of companies and recruiters to come to talk to us. They offer a wide variety of bootcamps, not only in the digital space, but also, technical skills, green, social and healthcare, HGV driving, business and administration, and so much more. And in order to qualify, you need to be at least 19. Now, the problem with learning how to code is that you can quickly lose everything that you've learned if you don't practice or use it. So I searched on App Store to see if I can find an app where you can use it to practice your code on the go, and I discovered this app called Mimo. Now, Mimo is an interactive app that allows users to learn several programming languages for free through daily lessons. I used this app quite a lot when I was on the go or had a quiet period at work, and I would describe it as the Duolingo for coding. However, I believe this app is mainly aimed towards complete beginners. So these are some free platforms that I used on my journey. There are some other platforms as well, such as Udemy, Coursera, Code Academy, that offers a mixture of free and paid courses. I've purchased a few courses on Udemy before, and for the price I paid for it, which was close to nothing, and the value I gained from it, it was totally worth it. So if you don't mind spending a little bit of money, then you can buy some really cheap, well-structured courses on some of these platforms that will boost your chances of landing a job. I remember I wanted to learn JavaScript, and because at the time I was learning web development, and I got a little bit stuck and wanted a little bit of a structure, so I bought a course on Udemy. And the good thing about Udemy is that they're always doing sales on their courses, so I paid, I think, between 10 to 15 pounds for the courses. And if you want to buy a course on Udemy, I suggest maybe you wait till the sales before paying for a course. Otherwise, you end up paying like 60 to 70 pounds or even more for the same thing. Also, I recommend doing courses where you'll be awarded a certification after completion. All right, next, after taking the courses, it's time to use what you've learned, because if you don't use it, you lose it, as they say. In the tech world, it's about show me, not tell me. And when you apply for jobs, you have to prove that you can actually do the job before you're hired. You probably have to do several assessments before you land the job, so you have to practice as much as possible to really understand what you're learning and also to retain that knowledge. You can start by following along on some tutorials which will help to boost your confidence, and there are plenty of tutorials that you can follow along to on YouTube, but it's very important that you don't just get stuck there just doing tutorials. Some of you may have heard of the term tutorial hell in the tech world. And tutorial hell is basically when you just follow along tutorial videos all day and you just stay there, just following tutorials all day long, and you don't really try to challenge yourself or actually build any projects on your own. It's like learning how to drive but only being able to drive when someone is sitting next to you. What happens when there's no one available? And because of this, a lot of experienced developers sort of demonize tutorials a little bit, but personally, I think tutorials are great, and they certainly helped me a lot when I got started. So it's good to follow along tutorials. You still learn a lot by doing that, but maybe after one or two, just swiftly move on to building, even if it's something small, a small project, personal website, maybe a small calculator program, a to-do app or something, and become more comfortable. Then you gradually move on and challenge yourself to something more complex. Tutorials are there to give you a taste of what it feels like to actually build something tangible with the code that you learn, and it really feels good when you start to recognize some of the code that you learn and how it actually works in a real scenario. Another great way to practice your code for free is to use ChatGPT to create some challenges for yourself to complete. Now, let me tell you something. When you're trying to land yourself a job in tech, especially self-taught, ChatGPT has to be your best friend. So if you don't have it, I recommend you get it ASAP. Just a free version of ChatGPT should be enough, because there's so much you need to do by yourself, and ChatGPT would definitely help you do a lot of the heavy lifting and take some of the laborious jobs such as writing CVs and cover letters off you. Also remember, while you need to acquire a lot of technical knowledge, it's also very important that you work on your soft skills as well, such as your communication, and in some tech roles, soft skills are even more important than the technical skills. And I can say for a fact that in my current role as a data analyst, I was hired more because of my soft skills rather than my technical skills, because a lot of the assessments that I did focus more on my communication, critical thinking, problem solving skills than my technical side. On the technical side, I just had to create a few charts in Excel with a few rows of data, and that's it. Alright, so after building a few projects to demonstrate your skills and abilities, it's time to showcase your work by building a portfolio. Again, this step is very important because the quality of your portfolio of projects is what will let recruiters know whether you have the skills to perform the duties of the role or not. A great place that most people are familiar with in the tech world where you can store your projects is GitHub. If you're going to work in the tech world, you need to know about GitHub. If you don't know about GitHub, then that's your homework for today. Go and watch some videos on YouTube about GitHub. However, what you have to remember here is that a lot of recruiters actually don't know much about the technical side of the role. So when they're hiring, they rely a lot on the visuals. But if you're new to GitHub, it can be a bit tricky to navigate at the start. So to make the experience as seamless as possible for the recruiter and make it easy for the recruiter to access and understand what is going on, you can create a simple website to display your projects and resumes. Also, when you're trying to break into tech self-taught, you have to go the extra mile. There's no two ways about that. So I recommend also creating maybe a blog post and writing about your coding journey, some of the challenges you face, solutions on a website such as Medium, for example, and include it on your website. And the good thing about blogs is that it sort of helps you to expand your reach just beyond, job applications. And, you just never know who's watching or where your next opportunity will come from. If you're trying to land a job in data analytics or data science, there's a free website called datascienceportfolio.io that's perfect for this, where you can create visually appealing portfolios, and that's what I use for mine. Alright, so now that we've acquired new skills, certifications, and portfolio of projects, it's time to update our CV to highlight this. Again, I recommend using ChatGPT to help you with this. It will help you to create a quality CV for the industry that you're trying to break into, if you give it enough information, of course. And it's amazing for cover letters as well and saves you so much time. You also want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile looks good, it's updated with the latest skills and certification and projects. This part is very, very important. LinkedIn plays a pivotal role in the recruitment process. Every employer wants to see your LinkedIn profile before they hire you. It gives them a good idea of who you are, and I recommend watching some videos on YouTube on how to make a good LinkedIn profile. If you also want to try and get some real-world experience wherever you can try and start with, some small gigs on platforms such as Fiverr and Upwork as a freelancer. And if it won't impact you a lot financially, then you can also try and apply for some internships, even if it's unpaid, just to gain some industry experience. Another great way to gain experience is to participate in hackathons, to work on real world problems, and this will also give you the opportunity to network with other developers as well. A hackathon is an event typically lasting several days where people come together to collaborate in order to solve a problem or identify new opportunities. Now, the next part of the process, I'll be honest with you, you need to grow some thick skin, because it's not for the weak. If you're self-taught, you experience this a lot, but just remember, it's completely normal and everyone experiences this. Everyone experiences this, especially if you're self-taught. So the next part of the process is to apply for jobs, and I recommend starting straight away once your portfolio, LinkedIn and CV is up to date. Keep applying, and while applying, just keep trying to find new ways to improve your application each time. And also remember to keep learning and practicing while you're still in the application stage, so that you don't lose what you've learned. Again, when you're self-taught, simply just applying for jobs on LinkedIn and Indeed, etc., it's not enough. You need to go the extra mile, like going to meet up events for your desired industry, webinars, tech conferences, and make connections and build connections on LinkedIn, on Twitter as well. I've heard a lot of people gain opportunities on Twitter. Yeah, so you just never know where your next opportunity will come from. And the reason why I was saying you need to grow and develop a thick skin at this stage is that, I'm not going to lie to you, at this stage you will receive a lot of rejections, countless rejections. It took me about 200 applications before I got one single offer. And it's funny because that's exactly what the stat says. It takes the average person about 200 job applications before they land a single job offer. And of course, some people do it, in way more or way less. I saw a post from a girl on LinkedIn that applied to over 2,000 jobs before finally landing a job offer. And sometimes you won't hear back from the recruiter, they won't get back to you, or they won't give you any feedback when you apply to jobs. It's not easy, but you have to be persistent and be resilient. Keep on going and just hang on to your small wins, and just remember that, a few months ago you probably didn't know anything about coding, but now you've learned enough to even build your own projects from something that you taught yourself. That's a win for me. And if you're lucky and maybe a recruiter calls you and have an informal chat with you to see if you're a good fit, but don't progress you to the next stage, it's still a win, because you went from knowing nothing at all about coding, and now someone actually saw what you've achieved and thought that your work was good and wanted to find out more about you. And that's just how it is. You just got to hang on to your small wins, keep on pushing, and always remember how far you've come, and never give up, because you just never know how close you are to that diamond. By following these steps that I've given you, you can definitely learn how to code for free and break into tech without a computer science degree or a paid bootcamp. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's an easy thing to do, but with consistency, persistence, and of course hard work, you can definitely do it. And I'm living proof that it can be done. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found some value in it. If you did, please do want to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let's build an amazing community together. I've been Alex. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.